What is up, people? This is Code 9 coming back at you with another Battlefield 4 video. Now, this one isn't going to be a gameplay, but a tutorial video where I discuss 4 key concepts of the game that will help make you a stronger player. Aiming, proper weapon choice, advantages, and environmental awareness. Now, before you weed me out as just another random who thinks he knows what he's talking about, take a look at this. Yes, those are my stats. I am not some scrub nub who thinks he knows what he's talking about. I pretty much have the game figured out. At an infantry perspective, at least. So what I'm telling you now will give you favorable results as an infantry player. You know, running and gunning and all that stuff. I don't really know much about tanks and helicopters, so you can't really ask me much about that, because I don't know much about that. You'll have to look to other YouTubers for that kind of information. Now, this is going to be broken into 2 parts. A beginner tutorial, where I discuss the aiming and proper weapon choice topics, and an advanced tutorial, where I discuss the advantages and environmental awareness topics. Of course, this is the beginner tutorial, so if you're already comfortable with your aim and knowledge of weapon choice, you may skip to the advanced tutorial. However, I strongly suggest you give this part a look just in case there's something you didn't think about. Let's start things off with aiming. There are 2 main things I'll be talking about: leading and burst firing. Now, for those of you who may be new to the Battlefield franchise, or whoever has difficulty understanding why bullets aren't hitting at long ranges, you need to understand that bullets have a travel time. Unlike other well-known FPSs such as Call of Duty or Halo, bullets take time to hit their target in the world of Battlefield, and as such, you need to learn how to compensate for this. Here's a good, yet pretty extreme example of compensating for bullet travel time.
I spotted an enemy hostile movement. Go to your position.
Suppressors greatly increase this effect, further adding difficulty because of this and other effects such as lower range and reduced accuracy. This is why I'd almost always recommend not using a suppressor unless you're in a close quarter situation, and even then it's not even really worth it unless you're pretty much behind enemy lines because of this. Even a sniper at such a close range as this requires quite a bit of compensation. Well, for a sniper, of course. I mean, that guy was pretty much walking and I still had to aim quite a great deal in front of his face. One big thing you can practice to help with your leading is to develop steady fingers. You should practice not jerking the joystick so much and find a suitable sensitivity for you and your situation. For example, if you like to play on open maps and game types, it'd be wiser to play on a lower sensitivity to make leading easier. I can't even remember how many people I see play on sensitivities way too high for their own good, often overshooting targets and only barely suppressing them. Here's some other quick tips you should practice alongside what I just talked about. Now I'll briefly go over some things you should consider when choosing your weapon for battle. First of all, of course, you should always choose a weapon you're most comfortable with. If you're able to fully understand and apply your weapon, you're pretty much set for any situation that comes at you. For those of you that don't have that go-to weapon, you should look at weapon stats and pick one that has all the qualities for your situation. For example, for close quarters situations, it'd be wise to go with something like a FAMAS or an AEK if you're a medic, and an ACW-R or MTAR-21 for carbines, which can be used with any class, as these are one of the, if not the, fastest shooting weapons in the game. Then, you should consider using weapons such as the SAR-21 or AK-12, as these are very stable and accurate for long-range encounters. Of course, you should remember what I said earlier and use a weapon that you're most comfortable with. I'm only saying weapons that are best suited for these situations. You may not like the way they handle. That pretty much concludes this basic tutorial. If you really want to step up your game and become a much more proficient player, you can check out my advanced tutorial where I discuss advantages and environmental awareness. Things like picking up on small clues, sounds to listen for, etc. However, I highly recommend you master the topics I've just discussed in this tutorial before you move on. Thanks for watching.